Hello, beautiful people of the internet. We're here slightly early because I feel like it. Matt's here. He's in the back. He's hiding. But we're going to do sponsors very quickly. Sponsors are down here. Woo! Hopefully they're getting their money worth because I'm trying to do extra shows. So this one's not too long. But Stoneage ball python, Pacific Northwest ball python breeder. I'm pretty sure he's basically sold out. But you can still buy. He's selling the chipper from him if you need it. Check him out. Stoneage ball pythons. BNS. He still hasn't taken any pictures of Pichuophis. You know, I took like pictures of 20 corn snakes today. Chris, where's my pictures? Shame. Everybody go find a post of his and write shame on it. BNS Reptilia, check it out. I do think he's submitting some stuff for Sal's auction, but he also needs to get me pictures for those too. So he needs double shaped. Thank you. Andrew from Powerhouse Pythons, another Pacific Northwest dude selling ball pythons. Go for Coco. He's working with Stimsons and leopard geckos. So hopefully he comes in tonight and says hi. If not, I'm sure he'll accidentally stumble into the auction because he said he got a new credit card and we don't know what's going to happen. Shane, Small Town Exotics. He's living his best life right now, working on this auction. He did just send me the stuff that Will from RCR donated. Fire. Fire. Everyone's been very generous, and I think you all will be very pleased to have the opportunity to even bid on some of these lots. And I'll reveal sort of more as the week goes on and the final list. But if you're into, let's do a quickie. Dreamsicles, proven breeder females, the Husbandry Pro non-transferable lifetime commercial account, hog noses. We have 3 hog noses right now. Charlie's here. Charlie donated 10 shed tests. Thank you, Charlie. The Canova sort of triple animal, the fire or vanilla G-stripe double head DG clown. Lots of people donated stuff where it's like a newer gene, like voodoo, redhead, acid. So you could like plug and play with like a good male to your clown female, make some heads that way. We got a VPI Labyrinth Jungle Boa. I know y'all don't know, but that's actually like a very nice high-end boa female donated by Al Mosher. Berms, which was crazy, came out of nowhere. A pair of 66% het, pos het caramel pieds, which is crazy. Very cool. Geckos, lychees. Just today, Mike's Monitors donated a sulfur water monitor. Also cool. Thank you, Mike Stefani. So there's a lot. It's not just ball pythons. It's maximum fun. You better be there this weekend. Saturday. Thank you. More sponsors. Great Family Snakes. I'm wearing their shirt today. Thank you for sponsoring. They've been posting up their Daytona pickups on Instagram, so check that out. Go give them a heart. And Bravo Zulu, who I think just posted a new for sale animal. I think it was Het Puzzle. So if you're into puzzle, jump on the old Bravo Zulu website. And Chat's here, living their best life. Really quickly, Shane was here for 1 second and then left. George, Jamie, Boza. Oh, Matt's here twice. Carissa, Will, Michael, Chris, Christian, or Chris. Do you like being called Chris? Another Casey, Lisa, Patricia, Jennifer. All right, we did it. Matt.
Hey.
I'm never going to get good at the ad reads, but that's okay. Matt also donated. Do you want to spoil what you donated?
Sure. It's a female pied. She's around 750 grams. So unfortunately, I won't be able to. We're going to be up in Lake Michigan for a friend's wedding, so I might be able to get on the auction, but
that's okay. That's what's cool about this kind of auction is like you don't have to be here. You just have to like know what you're going to offer, and then we'll just figure it all out later. You know. Okay, so tonight's goal that I tasked Matt with was to look at all of the current tri-stripe combos that exist and decide which ones are the coolest. It's as simple as that. I am getting a little echo of myself. What did I mess up?
Probably mine too loud.
Okay, sorry. Test. I think it's okay. Before we even start, to be clear, this is our opinion, and our opinions don't count, right? It's just like what we think is cool today, and what exists today, and what we're looking forward to in the future, and that's it. So, like, people always get butthurt. They're like, "Why was mine ranked D? It's so cool," and I'm like, "You can think it's cool still. It's literally just like a way of like organizing our thoughts around it."
Yeah. By no means am I an authority on Tristripe. I'm a snake nerd, and I look at a lot of them. So,
right. And I wanted Matt because Matt was in the project anyway, has some of them, and has been thinking about them. And I don't have that many either, but I think about them every day because they're weird. They're weird, right? How many like tri-stripe project animals do you have before we get started?
Like 10.
All right.
11.
You're in.
A little bit. I've got too much fire in my tri-stripe, but I'm figuring that out as I go along, and then they're halfway to size. I'm like, oh, I should probably diversify this a little bit, but I'll make white snakes. Why not?
Right. All right. Let's do it. Now, I guess we'll start in the 8-ball complex. So this is a black pastel tri-stripe. What do you think about it? Do you think it's cool or stupid?
No, I like it a lot, especially with tri-stripe on its own being really dark and staying really dark. I think 8-ball complex is nice for it.
I like, and it does this with the cinnamon version too, which we'll see, but it like the natural sort of floatiness of those morphs is like accentuated because it like lets it all drag together.
Yeah.
And this one's good because it's, I don't know, it has a lot of the, the eyebrows get to like party even harder. They have more space to party.
Yeah, and they're mostly connected too. It's not like a Morse code dashing. It almost makes a full line on most of it.
And here's a question. Before we rank this one, do you think the Trick Blitz Hurricane will have wavy tri-stripe lines or thicker tri-stripe lines? One wasn't made, so we can't rank it. This is just like a speculation time.
I think they'll be wavy, and I think I don't have my cursor to use it, but like where you've got the drips coming down onto the belly, I think there'll be a lot more. So I think like the eyebrow, the line, the second and third stripes going down the sides, I think it'll be more aberrant. And then I think that we'll have a lot more drips going along the side rather than mostly towards the end on a lot of the examples.
Do you know anybody who's working towards that yet?
I want to say Corey Heft has Blitz in his. I think he has it's either Blitz or Trick 1. He's got hets for it. And then
all right, that's cool.
I think Reggie might have a Trick het.
Yeah, that's one I've been like thinking about a lot in my head, like whether I think, because the wavy ones will happen sometimes naturally, like where there's more like drips from the top. They just sort of happen. But like, what if you overdid it and it was all wavy? I feel like it would be very cool.
Or if it gets jagged, it'd be like mountain peaks.
Cool. I'm telling you, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where do you think black pastel tri-stripe goes? S would be everyone should buy one. D would be it's okay. It's obviously still a living thing, but it's not like a cool project. And A, B, C are just sort of whatever in the middle.
It's in the middle for me. Probably
B.
Yeah.
Okay, we can always change it later because this is completely made up and the rules literally don't matter.
Perfect, because I like to change my mind.
Okay, next. Also, if you're on the audio only version of this, you're going to want to switch over to YouTube because 90% of this is visual.
Yeah, and I'm not good at explaining morphs either, so I'm not going to help out there.
Right. All right, cinnamon. These
I like the cinnamon a lot.
better?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, okay, why do you like it more than the black
Underneath,
pastel?
like the bottom of the, I don't know how to explain it. Like the white outlining that's underneath
Here?
the main pattern right there is amazing. It
It's more
contrasts so
intense.
well with the dark top. I'm a cinnamon guy anyway. I like both, but like the rich browns on a cinnamon are so nice.
They do have like a very like not to use the word, but like a mahogany colored head.
Yeah.
Almost more than mahogany is, like that sort of burnished wood color.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. I mean, I'm not a lot of times to me cinnamon is like strictly inferior, like in most like pair to pair combos, but it's like close enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it might be cooler here because of the white, and it seems like it floats a little more. And because there's no eyebrows, you get more intensity in like the contrast between the black back, the first stripe, and then like.
Yeah, it's more striking to me visually alone. I mean, I agree. Like cinnamon is like the, I guess what is it, like a younger brother of black pastel, but
the ugly stepsister.
Yeah, but I think it looks nicer. Right? Like if black pastel is B, to me this is A.
All right. I mean, this is your tier list. I'm just here to facilitate the process. And all of these pictures are in a document linked to the show notes. So if somebody wants to like browse along, and some of these are for sale. So if you want to go buy them, this is free promo. I'm all about like credit where credit's due. I didn't steal any of these. They're all referenced, but we needed a way to look at them and decide if they were cool or not. So cinnamon gets A rank. Very cool. Let's go Bell. Lesser or butter, whatever you want to call it. What do you think of that? For sale right now, $1,200. Steve's Morphs.
I don't think they look bad. It just doesn't give me what I want in Tristripe because I like Tristripe because of the symmetry for the most part. Like even if it breaks up toward the end, like a lot of them do, like having a mirrored image on each side of a snake is so like captivating for me. And I don't really get that with this because it's more jagged, it's more broken up. It's got a lot more of the teardrops. So as a, like, if I'm not looking at it as like a Tristripe purist, I guess, then I think it's cool. But I don't know for the project, it would be something for me at least to put in mind.
Do you I've only seen like 4 butter or lesser Tristripes. All of them have ended their like Tristripes very early, like the first third. Do you think it's like a line breeding problem? Do you think we could select in more of the stripe? Because you know how like the base morph has both almost a full body Tristripe and sometimes it like gives up halfway. So I just like that like a lesser clown looks like a donkey when it grows up. This gives you the lesser color on a blackback animal that's not donkey.
Brandon Nixon had an adult female.
That thing was fucking fire.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
I know it wasn't a donkey at all.
I was today and changing waters, and I have my Tristripe is right above my clown, my adult females. And it's not even close. Like an adult clown looks great, but the color that Tristripe holds is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's part of why I'm in. It's the same effect with no fading at all. Like it's color neutral.
Like it's not like you hatch out a baby and you're like, oh, I hope it stays nice.
Shane Kelley is doing fighting words. G-Stripe superior to Tristripe. I don't know about all that. I like G-Stripe too. I just think they're different things to me. They're almost
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even though they're both striped, it's a totally different concept.
Yeah.
All right, we got to rank the butter lesser tri-stripe.
That's D for me.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I do wish it could more consistently produce the third stripe, or like the more often. I think it's a problem with the morph, because I think you can sort of predict it. Like without the tri-stripe, how robust are the eyes? So if it's eyeless, there's no third stripe. So we'll get to Inchi eventually, and you'll be like, oh, no eyes. Since we spoke about it,
I agree, Shane. G-Star Clown is better than Tri-Clown.
it's more transformative. So this is this one has OD in it too. I tried to get singles, but I know they exist, but I couldn't find a picture quickly. So,
and OD is going to kind of wipe that out a little bit too, but at least the other Inchi that I'm thinking of that I've seen, Inchi Tri-Stripe, kind of was minimal on the sides as well.
Is this cool though, just to have this like squared off black back with no?
I think on its own, it's cool. I don't think project wise, it's much. Like that with DG or that with Hypo would look really nice. Or that with like a Monarch or an Ultramel or something, just solely changing the color, it'll look nice, but it kind of gives me the same like Inchi Clowns where there's like only so much that you can pile into it. And at some point your goal is bringing pattern back to something rather than not using it and using other genes that are not going to take away the pattern in the first place. So on it, I mean, I like it on its own. The color is really nice, especially if you have like another brightening gene on that. That with like super OD would look crazy.
And it's possible we'll be able to combo this some way, like whatever, like the Inchi spot nose yellow belly tri-stripe. Like, is that going to look like the clown version where they're like fighting enough that it comes back some? I don't know.
Right.
But where do you put Inchi conceptually?
That's C for me, probably.
C tier. All right. I don't know. I have like a Mojave Inchi het tri-stripe, and I want the Mojave part of it, but I'm like, I don't know if I want the Inchi part of it that much, but it's in there. So here we are.
See what happens.
Yeah. I actually think this is pretty fire. We'll see what you think about it. Pastel.
Pastel works great with Tristripe.
Isn't it crazy?
It looks so good.
It's like, and they don't like age perfectly or whatever, but it's like the best highlight for like the actual pastel color part of the pastel when they're babies are crazy.
Yeah. Those are super nice. And you got to get that little bit of a fading on the dorsal too, which looks cool.
It's like an extra stripe free.
Yeah.
Okay. I like them a lot. And we'll get into like the doubles that they work in a little bit later. But where do you put Pastel? It's just like a combo potential.
That's B.
B tier. Pastel's winning. Has anybody made a pewter or black pewter tri-stripe yet? I couldn't find one, but I was curious what it would look like.
I want to say I've seen a pewter tri-stripe, but I don't remember where it would have been that I've seen it. It might have been on that Facebook group.
Mm-hmm. I only went back like a year, and then I was like, I give up.
We only need so many examples to look at.
Right. But I think conceptually, like morphs that are shit in some ways work in other recessives better than you would expect. And I think Pastel, like Pastel puzzles, same way. Yeah. Pastel looks great in puzzle.
Yeah.
All right. This was somewhat contentious in the pre-show meeting. Fire. Tri-stripe.
I think Fire and Vanilla look good in Tri-Stripe, but I only have my reservations about Fire in my stuff just because I've got it on both sides.
Okay, let's just get into it. This one is like reverse striping.
Yeah.
And some of them are completely reverse striping. and the one on the thumbnail isn't reverse striped at all, but is clearly a fire to me. Do you think that's because of fire, or do you think that's because of other genes that may or may not be there?
I don't know.
Don't
I feel
get
like
in
I
trouble.
look at my.
You can bring some out. This is if you have time or feel like it.
Or space to get it out. So mine does not. He's got one. Where's my camera?
Right, that looks like a tri-stripe fire to me without too much reverse striping.
Right. Yeah,
what I
that's
would
got
expect.
The total dorsal reverse stripe.
Mm-hmm. So is this hypothetically extreme gene tri-stripe or extremist het tri-stripe or homozygous extremist het tri-stripe? Or
I mean, hypothetically, I guess it could, but I don't know one way or the other. It could. I mean, it could just be that the fire brings that back in. It just depends on the example that you have or the line that you have.
Mm-hmm. But here's my next question. Do you want fires that are reversed like this if it was just fire's fault making the tri-stripe? Because it seems to like reduce the amount of.
Yeah. No, I think it would look cool if you have some other like brightening things in it, or if you have something that makes the sides really dark, but then you can keep a nice bright gold singular stripe down the back. I think that would look cool. But I'm just partial to like the bold dark stripes that go down the middle, and then just going with the side pattern as your canvas.
Did you see the fire GHI tri-stripe?
Yeah, that was Zach Schrader's.
Yeah, that's badass.
It's phenomenal. It looks so good.
So I guess even if, I don't know, this doesn't tickle your fancy at home, like the lack of the real tri-stripes with the reverse stripe, it should combo crazy with stuff that sort of negates that.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we put fire sort of / vanilla tri-stripe?
Eileen C.
C. It feels like it's a combo piece more than like a statement piece.
Yeah.
In itself.
Yeah. It's an accessory to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of the devil, this was sold as a super extremist, but to me it's a tri-stripe. We can argue about that.
That looks like GHI tri-stripe.
Right. So this is my picture for GHI tri-stripe. Yeah. I mean, I love it. What do you think?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's so dark. And I like that it's like, with GHI, you get like I don't want to call it dirtiness, but you know what I mean? The dirtiness on the sides. Mm-hmm. And that looks really cool, especially as it ages with tri-stripe keeping nice dark color. That won't just like fade into itself. It'll still have that really cool color gradient along the sides.
Mm-hmm. And it'll make like the best like GHI hypo tri-stripe eventually, the best, because it'll be dark and blue. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like the clown version just ends up being sort of dilute.
Mm-hmm.
Hot. Hopefully you rank this one correctly. Matt, what do you rank the GHI tri-stripe?
S tier.
Thank you. God.
Only correct answer.
It's so beautiful. I love it. And then like obviously we can polygenically like select for a full body stripe or whatever. But
and a lot of them have towards the latter third, they'll have like the dorsal stripe that comes back on, or at least some of the like dorsal dotting with the gold dots along it. That one looks crazy because it's like if you stitch together the head and a little bit of the neck and the tail, you would think it would be a totally different animal than the middle of the body.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's almost like sometimes like this is almost more of a difference, so it's almost cool that it doesn't go the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a weird ombre that starts, restarts, then a different one.
Yeah.
I love it. So fun. Wish we had like 20 of them.
Me too.
Although this year I've seen a ton of hets getting made, like a ton of like GHI, blackhead, spot note, like stuff that will be cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a lot more. S tier achieved. All right. Banana. Are you a banana fan?
I don't know if I've seen an adult, but I mean, I can imagine how it would look, but I think it looks cool. It's just the color of the top doesn't really get me. Like if it was like a deep purple on the dorsal stripe along the top, I think I'd like it a lot more. But it's just kind of faded with banana.
Mm-hmm. I think this is like a combo one again because banana is sort of whatever anyway. But like banana, black pastel, Wookiee yellow belly looks cool.
Yeah, banana red stripe, tri-stripe would probably be really nice. Banana OD, I'm sure it would be nice.
Mm-hmm. I like that this example has almost a full actual tri-stripe. So that's cool. Who sold it? Got balls. Good job, got balls.
Good job.
All right. Banana. How do you feel about banana?
I feel kind of like the same way with fire. It's like an accessory for me, so I would go C.
C tier. All right, excellent. All right. Slightly contentious one. This one has yellow belly in it, so it's cheating. The leopard tri-stripe.
From all the examples that I've seen, I don't know what is and what's not now, but
we'll based go to on the other alone, leopard
saying that this is a leopard tri-stripe, I think it looks sick and leaves a lot of doors open for opportunity. But you put spot nose in that looks crazy. You put like orange dream yellow belly in that looks crazy. Hurricane in that would look awesome. Like that's I like leopard in it a lot so far from what we've seen in the last 2 years.
I think this is like, I don't know, devastatingly attractive. Eden's Gate quality serpents, and we'll have more of their stuff. This one's het ultramel, which we'll see that. But like,
yeah,
fuck me. All right. And then before you rank them, this thing that could be also a leopard tri-stripe. Which one's better? The classic look or Crazy Town?
I like Larry's better because it's got the more of a stripe, the dorsal along the back. Eden's Gate.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a tri-stripe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is also crazy.
I would believe that's a tri-stripe, but it's like I would also believe that was a crazy leopard with like the most intense het influence that you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that variable, or it could just come down to the line of tri-stripe that somebody's working with.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this was, as always, somewhat contentious, but like, because it's dripping like an extremist, which may be extreme gene het tri-stripe, maybe.
Or is the extreme gene, is it an extreme gene tri-stripe and it's making it back a little bit?
Right. I don't know. Or are they allelic? And that's why it's really confusing, because it's like, we don't know that yet. Don't listen to me, nobody at home. But like, if that is the case, it might explain why you could breed a single gene, extreme gene, to a tri-stripe, get nothing, but get extremist looking things, because that's like the het effect. But then I can breed a tri-stripe to something that is an extreme gene, and all my hets look basically normal, except maybe they're a little connected, a little bit, but like nothing exciting.
Right.
Brandon is having GHI try hatchings. Looking forward, like the visual.
Oh yeah, I think he does.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, he had a GHI het try female. Yeah, nice.
Okay, let's put this one on the tier. This version of it. We'll do both because we're living our best life here.
Okay, that's A tier to me.
All right. I mean, the yellow belly helps, I think.
Yeah.
And the Crazy Town?
Crazy Town is B tier for me.
All right, perfect. That's awesome. Good luck, buddy. Hopefully you get like 10. How many eggs did you have? Oh, you didn't say, but 10. I'm assuming 10. How much longer for the try test, Charlie? Charlie's just got clowny. Give him a break. All right. This one is one I'm excited about. Maybe you're not excited about it. Sugar or calico. On
its own, it's cool. I think it needs an accessory gene with it to bring the sides up a little bit more. And I think there's been plenty of a couple examples at least that I've seen where it's kind of hard to tell if it is a calico or not. And a lot of that is just going to come with age. Every time it's shed, it's going to have a little bit more white coming up the sides. But I think you take this and you put that with like OD, or you put that with another recessive. That with like Ultrameller Monarch would be really nice. So I like on its own for me, I'd probably put that like C tier because it kind of gets rid of the potential to whack out the sides. So for visually appealing animals, phenomenal. But for like long-term projects, just how I want to work my Tristripes, I don't know that it would appeal to me as much.
I agree. It's because like a sugar calico normally deletes eyes, alien head eyes. So like by default, it almost has to get rid of it. But I'm just like hoping we can like combo this, whatever, cypress, yellow belly, calico, and then it'll just be like crazy color with like a back thing that's crazy. That's my dream.
And that with like do like a campfire Tristripe, like a calico, cinnamon banana or OD. Color enhancers on that would look amazing.
All right. But it is kind of mid that it's missing this side. But where do you put calico / sugar?
That's C tier for me.
C tier. All right. Last one. This one's for sale. You could buy it now from Ozzy. Mojave.
Does he have any other photos where it's stretched out? Nice.
I'm pretty sure the baby that's on here is the same baby. The one that was sold in 2020. So it's right. Okay. It's right year.
I like Mojave a lot more than I like the lesser and the butter.
Nope. Mojave tends to like protect its eyes, like it keeps them.
Yeah. You get a lot more of the chaining along the side on that.
And it lets it be like as dark as the Mojave wants to be in the end.
Yeah, I like that. And you keep a nice dorsal too. You got the dotting and then that little bit of lining along the dorsal on the latter third and the front third, but you still get the nice wide back on it.
So what do you think about Mojave? It keeps your look that you like.
Yeah, that's probably B.
B tier.
That's a high B. Yeah.
High B. I think Mojave's power is it's going to be like the best bell friend to like this one and this one.
You think it'll be better than like a Phantom Mystic?
They'd probably be like equal. Like Mojave does tend to like float a little more than Phantom Mystic, but they're about equal. I don't know. All right, dumb question. What do you think the Super Phantom or Super Mystic will have a Tristripe if it were homozygous Tristripe? Do you think it'll force the little curly cues down? Or do you think the homozygote would win?
I think you'd be able to tell. I don't know that it would be very drastic.
Right. I've always wondered, like, because you know how like blackhead and leopard can like re-darken them back up?
Yeah.
But if you were to hit it, would it be worth hitting it on accident in a high-end combo and then like just using that to make heads with stuff? But would you even be able to see it to ID it correctly? These are the questions that I have.
I mean, they stay dark as they age, so you add another darkening gene in there, and then if you're able to bring the pattern back down, that'd be
right. Like the Super Mystic, Super Phantom Clown looks like nothing as an adult because it fades the whole way out.
Yeah,
you know. All right, it's everybody's favorite time. Double time. All right, before we do that, I forgot. What genes are you looking forward to seeing in Tristripe, like in the next couple of years?
Hurricane is a big one, pattern-wise. I'd really like to see what Redhead does with it. Looking at like the Redhead spot-nosed clowns with how reactive those are, I'm really curious to see how Redhead will do in Tristripe. Monarch Tristripe. is really going to be really cool. The one that I think will probably be my favorite will be a paint tri-stripe, as long as the dorsal stays dark and doesn't get like too grainy. If it still has like the speckling grainy throughout the dorsal, but then the sides just get blown up. I kind of have the thought with like Zach's the GHI Fire tri-stripe, where the dorsal was still really nice and the sides just looked like an eruption. I kind of have the feeling that the tri-stripe is going to be strong enough to keep the dorsal stripe, but then kind of just blow out the sides with the paint pattern.
I would hope so.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I don't know anything, but
I don't either.
It
what else was on my questions? Cryptic tri-stripe, since we're talking about doubles. Do you think it will be better than the clown tri-stripe, which we'll look at in like 10 seconds? Because it's going to fight it this way instead of letting it stay this way.
Yeah. I think it'll have more of an effect.
Will it be a good effect?
I think it'll be cool if you go like a very aberrant, like cryptic confusion tri-stripe type. That could be really cool. Yeah, I was trying to run through my head of what I think like a puzzle tri-stripe would do, and I wonder if that's either cryptic or puzzle one would be the type where it could take that dorsal and kind of just like make little jagged runs that come off of it, because that'd be cool if it just had portions of a dorsal, but then it just veered off to one of the sides just because it affects it that way on cryptics. I don't know.
I don't know either. It will be exciting to find out.
Somebody make it.
All right, let's just go in order. Albino tri-stripe. What do you think? Do you love it?
I'm not an albino guy.
Is anybody an albino guy?
True. So not my favorite. I think like a lavender tri-stripe, if it was really clean, they would look nice as they age. And I've seen a couple pictures of the albino tri-stripe adults, and nothing really captivates me about it at all.
All right. Is that a D? A D?
That's a D for me, yeah.
D. Since we just talked about it, lavender tri-stripe. It does look more popping.
Inchi yellow belly. See, I would think that's. It's got a lot of the eyebrows. I would wonder if that'd be Inchi, but because toward the end, it doesn't look like it has any eyebrows. I like that more, especially with age. What's that? It was 375 grams, and it was posted. Yeah, with
for sale, you can buy it right now, hypothetically.
Oh, that's Brett's. He's local. Yeah.
So it's better than albino. Do you think it's B or C? Or A?
I would still probably say C, just personally.
That's all right. It's all personal taste here.
Perfect.
Candy. We're still in the mode.
Still in the albino mode. I like the candy a lot more than the lavender. You get a lot
more contrast and stuff.
Yeah, it's deeper. It's deeper color.
Also for sale, if somebody wants it.
That one is probably B. I'm just classifying my albinos right now is what I'm doing.
Right, but that's fair, right? Because tri-stripe is color intensity neutral. So it's just like, which albino flavor do you personally like the best?
Right.
And then with the pattern. Here's a flavor I like the best, although this isn't like the best side example, but hypo tri-stripe.
Yeah. No, hypo tri-stripe works really well together.
Do you think it's better than candy?
I think it's close to candy. I think the project potential wise, hypo has more potential. Just because of the color palette that you can go either direction and not just have the albino. But I would still probably rank that close to like a B, like close to candy.
If it
And
was
that's
me,
mostly what I'm working is
I'd say
hypo stripe.
fucking S. I don't know. I
Really?
fucking love it because I love this thing.
That is S. That's without a doubt one of the coolest Tristripes. I freaked out when I saw
but it's just Mojave.
the first time I saw it, I'm like,
It's
oh, somebody did
awesome.
the AI thing for ball pythons, but it looks so nice.
This
And with
was
age, that thing's gonna be phenomenal.
yeah, Alyssa Clock in the Facebook Tristripe group. And I like it when Tristripes, this is like a personal taste thing, like connect a little bit here instead of being a reverse stripe. Like to me, like that's like the best, chef's kiss, like extra. It's not required. It's fine. But like it makes me feel like it's really doesn't have extreme gene or something in it that's like getting ready to reverse stripe it.
Yeah.
And then there's all this like weird, it's a little bit weirder than a regular Mojave because they're usually smoother Mojave tries. Like it's got all this weird, like pokey stuff.
It's more jagged, yeah.
So awesome. All right, so let's just do it. Fuck it. This one is S. This version of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad we agree. Uh-oh. And we love Alyssa, friend of the show, Full Throttle Reptiles. But what do you think about the Tristripe Pied project, Matt?
I wish it worked better. I wanted it to work so bad because I really like pieds, and if I could get like a 1/2 to 3/4 pattern pied with a tri-stripe and then have the like latter end be white with pied, it would be so cool. And the first couple that I had seen, it might have been like 2 years ago or so when it started to be posted on the groups where it's like, I think this is a tri-stripe pied, and I was holding out hope that it would be more effective. And I mean, you could tell that's not just a straight pied. Like the color on that is super bright, and in person that thing is really bright. She had it at one of the shows, I don't remember which one, but it looks really nice. But it's the pied curse where it evaporates hope and dreams.
100%. Yeah, so even if you did something that would add eyebrows normally, it wouldn't add eyebrows to a pied because a pied doesn't give a shit about eyebrows anymore. So there's no way to like reconstruct the phenotype on pied saddles as far as I'm aware either. So you're basically always just destined to have like a different pattern pied, but not a tri-stripe pied.
Yeah.
Where do you rank the tri-stripe pied project?
It's like visually, it like to me, it just looks like a really nice pied. So I would probably just put a D tier just because it's like project potential. It doesn't, at least for me.
Right. Where do you go to fix it or whatever? Random question, not related to what we're doing, sort of. Monsoon tri-stripe. Do you think there's any chance in hell you would be able to tell that there's an extra set of lines in a monsoon tri-stripe?
Monsoon is so strong, but I feel like if at minimum, I feel like you'd be able to see kind of like maybe the pattern towards the top might be a little bit more linear. I don't think you'll get a stripe. I think you might be able to see like, okay, the tri-stripe's trying to fight through, where it might be like a little bit darker up towards the dorsal and have a little bit more lines. But I don't have high expectations, but I really hope wrong. I just don't know. I haven't heard of anybody working that yet.
Me neither.
I wouldn't, so I understand, but
I mean, I think there will be a day where like ball pythons are like corn snakes, and they're all like half het for a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. That it would end up popping out that double, and you're just like, just trying to make combos.
Yeah, it'll be made.
But I don't know what universe or what time frame will do that. But for right now, I don't know.
And the barrier into monsoon is still very high, so it's it's somebody who's going to be doing that is going to have monsoon in their other main projects first, and then they might be looking at like a monsoon tri-stripe as just like something to try out on the side where they've already got their main monsoon group, because going tri-stripe monsoon wouldn't be my first move if I was going to get into monsoon.
Right. There's like a bunch of other things to do with it.
Yeah.
What about this puppy? From Will. Some people think this is so boring they want to die. Do you want to die?
I think it looks like a really nice clown. Like that's what I want clowns to look like. And I mean, it kind of has like the leopard clown look where it gets like the dotting all along the sides. I think the same way about puzzle try as I do the clown Tristripe. I'm sorry, the puzzle clown. It kind of just looks like a nice clown in its base form, but we have no idea how other genes are going to react with it. Like one of the things that like Will says often is like, yeah, this like the puzzle clown doesn't do a ton on its own, but what happens when you put hurricane spot nose yellow belly in it? Like how there's no way it's not going to have a drastic effect. Is it going to look like a crazy looking clown, or will it kind of unlock the puzzle, or will it, like in this case, unlock the Tristripe a little bit more? Don't know till you try it, because nobody's really gone down that path after they see the base clown Tristripe. They kind of just like write it off because they think like, oh, it doesn't work in it. But until you actually work other genes into it, we really don't know what it's going to do.
Obviously Will has like adult versions. Are they colored like clowns, like in terms of brightness, or are they colored like Tristripes?
I haven't seen the visuals as I think this might be his only double.
Okay.
But the I mean, I would imagine it's gonna stay nicer. And then I mean, we've seen the photos of what is it? Is it Next Morph, I believe? Another guy in Canada. He's got a yellow belly Tristripe.
I got it, because that was like the upgrade.
Okay. Yeah. And then he's got photos of it breeding, and it looks way nicer than what that would be as just a clown.
Yeah, this looks fire and like really fun. Like it looks like we should name this Ocelot or something, which I think is already a combo name, but
probably,
you know, like it's like what Leopard wanted it to be, but isn't.
Yeah.
Because there's like dots and like rosettes with color inside.
I think whenever the first time I saw a Tristripe clown, and it probably was the one that Will had posted, I was like, that's the nicest leopard clown I've ever seen. And then I actually read it, but that's what I want Leopard to do in it.
We got to rename the double. Okay, so regular Tristripe clown. Where do you think that one should go?
That's probably C.
All right. Like it's tough to me when they're like blade or whatever, and you're like,
yeah,
what the heck? But I think this one's a nice example. Sans blade, and then the yellow belly one.
B.
Excellent. All right, we're getting into crazy territory now.
Crazy.
You have to tell me if you think this is what they think it is also, but I kind of believe them.
I believe it, yeah. Because I think I've only seen one other example, and I don't know if it was from the same person or not. And the first one that I saw, I was like, I don't really know. And I kind of doubted it a little bit. And then I saw this one that posted in that group recently. I was like, that's got to be it. Like, I don't see where that could just be a het Tristripe influence.
Right.
That's the visual to me.
Yeah, even like a Kiki or whatever, it doesn't do it like quite like this with these weird, I don't know, sun flare explosions down or whatever. Also for sale, in case anybody wants it. Is this cool though? Cool enough to worth doing it, or should we try it? I don't know.
If you have a bunch of like genetic stripe combos, like in your females or something, and this is a look that you like, cool. I'm curious to see what it would look like with clown.
Would it just like devolve into dots or whatever at that point? Because it's like too many conflicting inputs.
Yeah, it might be too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't know.
I mean, bless his heart for doing it. I know Kyle's doing it, and some other people in the US, at least like trying to hit it. I don't know. This one's like I don't know for me. What do you think? Where do you put it? And it could be like potential and looks, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm a low C. I'm a high D.
Right. High D.
Yeah. I was looking at the puzzle, the Tristripe clown right next to him. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I gotta go down.
Yeah, this it could almost like, I don't know, shift up. Whatever. The rules literally don't matter. We're just thinking about like, if you're gonna spend 8 years working on it, do you want to start working on this or this?
Right.
Right. Speaking of 8 years that you want to start working on it, this one is the Ultramel Tristripe by Edensgate Quality Serpents. No leopard yet, but we'll look at that one.
I know he's got better photos than that one.
This is the one that's like on his not that when it was a baby, but this is always like this as an adult.
Yeah. Now the ones that he's been making recently have been amazing. I really like Ultramel with Tristripe. My biggest gripe with Ultramel in general is I like a heavy contrast, and in a lot of Ultramel combos you lose that. But with how dark Tristripe is, it fits perfectly.
Yeah, and then we can, add dark stuff, orange stuff all day. So where would you put it for like potential right now feelings?
That's probably A tier for me.
And where would Monarch Tristripe be?
That would probably be a low S tier.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
think the Monarch Tristripe is going to be really, really nice.
All right, let's look at this puppy since we're here.
Yeah.
This is a leopard Ultramel Tristripe, and this one's different looking than the other leopards. Again, like another version. It's got these like bubbly, sort of oscillating. It's wild. Like I'm into
to see if there's other genes that like a confusion acid or a something else where it has the high pattern influence, and see if it makes all different types or if it makes more similar Tristripes, because all the leopard Tristripes look different.
Yeah. I like whatever the fuck this is. It almost, like, no offense, like puzzle pieces to the puzzle people. Like literally like it's got like the lobes. I've never seen a lobed Tristripe on the dorsum. Like, it's crazy. Hot.
I like 10 that out of 10. A lot. Yeah, that's S tier.
S tier. We'll have to just rename puzzle. Just kidding. We won't rename puzzle. All right, last one, the sort of winner of the last couple of years.
Sort of winner. That's amazing.
I know, that's crazy. The best part about this one is it got this like neck notch, little zebra stripe business, and then like a whoop-de-doo, and then it Tristripes. Like I like it when their necks do this instead of like reverse stripe like normal.
Yeah.
I love that. 10 out of 10. And there's more, but this one I like the best. I think it's for sale also. Shout out Regal Pythons in England if you want to import it for $25,000. What do you think? And this one's pastel. I know somebody's hit one, but I couldn't find a picture easily.
Bob Vu's got one or two without pastel. They look really good. He had one at Tinley last year, one of them.
Do you like it better with or without pastel?
Project wise, without, on its own, just as they sit one next to another, pastel.
All right, new question. Is the DG Tristripe cooler than the DG Clown in terms of overall aesthetics?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
I mean, when they age better and they keep their color,
they're just darker. So they're like darker to begin with. And then they darker to end with.
Yeah. Right. There's a lot more like a DG Clown when it's a baby, they're super striking and they stay that way for a while, but a lot of them when they're full size, you lose a lot of the contrast that is the main reason that most people work with DG. But when you can have it into something that stays darker as an adult, like a Tristripe or like a puzzle or something that just codoms that stay dark like that, it works so well because you keep the contrast.
Right. So like a confusion, this yellow belly leopard thingy, Tristripe DG is going to look, way better. Sorry, I fucking love clown, but like it's going to look better in this platform than it will on the clown platform in the end.
Yep.
In my
And then
opinion.
like a orange dream, and then with like an 8-ball complex, like an orange dream, black pastel, Tristripe DG.
I wish clown was better, but this is my substitution because like it's the same sort of idea loosely, like a black back thing with a pattern variation.
Yep.
But to me, this is the future. We just have to solve the problem of like which representation of the genes is the genes or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Where some of them are like, it's reverse striped. Is that actually tri-stripe or is it het tri-stripe?
Yeah, and the hets can be extremely visible.
I forgot to open S tier.
Yeah.
I am dumb. 1 second. I forgot to open the Xanthic one. Tell me about Xanthic.
It's mostly dark.
Do you think because it's hard to like get in all the different kinds of Xanthics, since the TSK one was hit first, that's the one everyone's going to want to use, or do you think people will premium out with like black Xanthic, which is what my dream?
I think it'll go VPI just because of the amount of people that work VPI. Because there'll be plenty of people that keep TSK because it's in it, but especially when there's so many people working DG now, and if they're planning on working DG Xanthic, which has caught a lot of steam as well, if they're going to want to have like DG Xanthic as their base and then pick up pattern mutations to put in, so DG Xanthic Clown, DG Xanthic Puzzle, DG Xanthic Tristripe, a lot of that's going to be VPI already. So they might be putting the Tristripe into the VPI rather than starting with a TSK Tristripe. And Brett's, I think when he got his original stock, they were all TSK, and they didn't even know that there was Xanthic in it, and he just popped some out like 2 years ago. I think he made the first one.
Do you think it'll be like VPI and like black Xanthic is like the premium one that's premium for no reason? That sort of paradigm will exist in this.
I don't know. I would like to see the adult black Xanthic Tristripe, because a lot of the black Xanthics that I've seen as an adult that are like the good examples are so dark that it really doesn't leave much to work with. So as long as it doesn't just make a black snake with a faint black line down the back, I would probably lean either TSK or VPI, just because it leaves more contrast to work with rather than just super dark.
Yeah.
But then again, I haven't seen enough black Xanthic probably to make that assumption though.
Most black Xanthics, in my opinion, look like the other ones. They don't look dark.
Okay.
And, let me just do this thing. Because you know how all of them can like go IMG mode if they want to? Like any of them can.
Yeah.
Maybe black Xanthics do it more, but most of the ones I've seen and own look like donkeys, just like every other Xanthic. All right. But for like sheer combo potential, like a DG Xanthic is more expensive now than a DG Clown. So like, wouldn't pivoting Tristripe into Xanthic ASAP be a good idea in a future where you're going to DG it anyway?
Yeah. I think if you're planning on doing Xanthic stuff at all, odds are you're going to be doing DG Xanthic, because DG keeps Xanthics how we want Xanthics to look as they age. And if you're going to be playing around with pattern mutations, why not?
Right. Brandon agrees.
Crazy potential with it.
So,
this absolutely. Is something to keep good contrast with it as it ages. It'll look amazing. It'll look better than the Clown, color wise.
Are you making Xanthics yet, or
no? With Tristripe? No.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm doing. I have one male that's a black pastel, a scaleless head that I'll avoid. VPI Xanthic Het DG that's going to go to some combo Het DGs and then clown Het DG stuff. So I'm working that first, and then I really just need to get female Tristripe stuff grown up before I can start putting other recessives into it, just because my Tristripe stuff is in infancy stages.
Mm-hmm. All right. Where do you think just Xanthic in general, not TSK specifically, but just the concept should go?
High A.
High A. Bold. Well, over clown or hypo?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think really that the only reason that hypo ended up there is just because the representation photo, a lot of the...
Yeah, but ignore that one. I just picked it because it was like
A.
all curled up in one picture.
Yeah.
I think the hypos look awesome.
Yeah.
In general. Like they do need to be comboed out with stuff like OD and stuff that'll like burn through cypress, like burn through the dorsum.
And for a recessive that's been around for so long, we haven't seen very much with it at all.
Mm-hmm. What about white lace? We'll treat that like a double.
White lace Xanthic clown. Yeah, there you go.
Would it be better than...
I'm curious to see what I'll do to the sides, because the white lace brings up the sides and makes some of that bubbling along the sides anyway that Tristripe will do on its own. I'm wondering if it'll raise it up even higher, or if it'll just make it like way more extreme along the bottom. It'll be clean, that's for sure.
Or like a white lace paint Tristripe. Like, will that popcorn all the way up into the paint? All right, we basically did it. I think what's exciting about this project is it truly is like untapped. If we're getting excited about Mojave, hypo Tristripe, you know,
complex.
Like, oh my god, it's the best. Or like we finally hit a 2-gene Tristripe. Wow, we did it. Leopard yellow belly. So like that part is great because it feels like you're not treading old ground and making hets that nobody gives a shit their head for that.
It's very fresh.
Yeah. Main Squeeze says they think the TSK Tristripe will be better. Do you think any one line is better than any one other line?
I think it just comes down to the examples that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like John Dagg's done a great job with that. Some TSKs look like boo-boo, some VPI look bad. It's what you work with and how you breed them.
Mm-hmm. VPI try double hets or visual? Brandon, do you know, Matt?
I don't. I'll go stalk his page real quick.
What about mimic tries or just mimic in general? I needed somebody to talk to about this. What do you think about mimic? I'll have to bring up pictures. I was just thinking about it when I was like typing up notes. I was like, what the fuck does a mimic Tristripe look like?
It's extremely interesting because of how it's going to look like 3 different things. When it's a baby, it's going to look like a rainbow Tristripe. When it's middle age, it's going to look like a DG Tristripe, and then when it's older, it's going to look like a monarch Tristripe. They're going to be very sought after because of how novel they are.
Yeah,
but I don't know how do you attack that gene in your projects? Are you planning for like what they're going to look like long term, or are you just going to try to like take a gamble and see what they end up looking like? Because they changed like 3 times throughout their life cycle.
I mean, that's a good point. Like a lot of people say like ball pythons are like a baby market. We sell them as babies. We don't actually care what they look like as adults. So like, do you combo it with stuff that it would look good in a rainbow, basically, and then sell it that way, and then like don't worry that it turns into a DG at the end or whatever?
But if somebody's going to be buying from you when they know it's going to be a mimic, it's still going to have a high price tag for a long time. So
yeah,
they're going to have the same thought.
But is there anything that looks bad in rainbow that also looks bad in a DG or a monarch looking thing? Right. They all look pretty good, right?
Yeah. Personally, I would probably just say like the lightning genes, so like fire complex type stuff, where it looks nice, but as it ages, it kind of gets rid of the contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, if you see that VPI Tristripe, send it to me. I'm scrolling through Mershon's page, so I'd like to see it.
Or you could send it to me.
Yeah.
On whole backpack. Not me personally. What about the Tristripe Sunset? Do you think the Tristripe Sunset will... You know how like the Sunset has like a GHI quality where it's like... It looks like GHI, but brown, red color. Do you think it'll look like the GHI Tristripe? Or do you think it'll look like nothing because it'll defeat it?
I think it's got the potential to have the similar like sides as the GHI Tristripe for sure. Especially with that like a little bit of graininess. I don't know how. I feel like this is just like the shitting on clown power hour, but
I love clown.
I do too, but like the contrast with like a sunset clown, I feel like in a Tristripe sunset, you've got more black to play with for the sunset to counteract.
Do you think it'll make like like Mojave and Leopard sunsets are really more like browny, dark toned, and they have usually like an ombre, like a darker head. Do you think it'll actually make that better looking, like more, I don't know, like emo looking, but with still the darker red-ish underneath?
Probably. I don't think it would get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know. I've got emo.
There's a hard like part where they shift too dark and they become like just straight up brown snakes. Like even as babies, like the Mojave leopard might be too much dark, but maybe it's fine.
I am new to sunset. I only have one sunset anime. It's a sunset Mojave.
This is from Brandon Nixon. It is the VPI Tristripe with no side dinghies.
Yeah, I know it is. I wonder if that's just like the line. But,
right, it could have blade or something on accident.
Yeah, but then again, Brett's was TSK and was separate, and I know, I believe Mershon's is TSK line as well, but the Tristripe at least. But I would like to see the Xanthic examples that have more eyebrows on the side, and I was actually talking to Brett last night, and he was hatching one out, and it did have really nice sides on it. It has the eyebrows going on it, and I'll send it to you. But this is just a picture of it in the egg. But I think it'll be a nicer example because it's got a little bit more of the side pattern.
Are you sending it to me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I'm assuming he's fine with me posting that. Other than that.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, I think when people want Tristripe, they want Tristripe, not like the little black back.
Yeah.
Although, those wide band calkings where they're just a single band on the back, but they've selectively bred the band, so it's like most at the top.
Yeah.
If you could do that, I don't know, blackhead or something that like makes the dorsal bigger. It might be cool even if it doesn't have the third stripe. If it's just like a chocolate top the whole way down.
Yeah, no, that would look really cool.
I don't know how to breed that, but
I'm
in. Like, I don't know if you saw like the Gorilla GHI.
Yeah.
DPR put out, like the whole back became fatter, like every part of the saddle. So if you did that in a Tristripe, it might make the whole top darker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe even still have a Tristripe, but it'll be like halfway down the body.
Right.
Potentially.
And then you just have like just sides along there and see if you could force some type of pattern in that.
Yeah. All right. What about Wookiee? Do you think Wookiee would be good or bad? Because it'll float a lot, but they
Yeah.
tend to like reduce eye density and intensity
I think
sometimes.
it'll look good. I don't think it'll get rid of the eyes. I think it'll probably limit them. I think it'll float more, like what you were saying. I think like Wookiee will do the same, Chocolate will do the same. Where I think
Mhm.
it'll be more kind of like we were looking at that Mojave where it was jagged. I think it'll be the opposite. I think it'll be more like bulbs.
Swirly
Yeah,
or smooth.
yeah. I think it'll just kind of like have little cusps that go along rather than a bunch of drips.
Do I don't even know what people like anymore. But do people like, like the drippy ones where they're all drippy? Does anybody even like that? Because I to me it looks like too much like a normal ball python that just got like a het pied drag attached to
Yeah.
it. It's more satisfying when it's very clean, but
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
but
don't
then
know.
again, whenever we were looking at the Mojave hypo Tristripe, it's super jagged, but I
Right, but
still love it.
but like the stripe, the tri-stripe stripe was fat. So
Oh yeah, on
like
the dorsal, yeah, yeah.
let's look at it again just for science. It's hard to like talk about any of this in like a normal way. It's like, yeah, my stripe is fat. So like this stripe is also sort of jagged and weird, but it's still pretty fat. It's not like thin. Like so like hypo will sometimes make this stripe thin, like only 1 or 2 scales thick sometimes.
Are you looking at a photo?
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry. I'm stupid.
Thanks.
So like this is like 4 scales wide,
Yeah,
but it's also sort of like jagged and weird underneath.
yeah,
That's weird. But it's pretty smooth on top. Like here. This just feels like a different look. Should probably do a baby. Let's do side by side. Like this is quite smooth and still 4 scales wide. And there's
yeah.
lots of floater material.
Makes for a nice contrast on the top and the bottom of the line itself.
Inky Clouds thinks it's Phantom. You saying it's not what they say it is? It's possible. Because like it's not touching the bottom like the way it's supposed to. There's always a delay.
Yeah, Brandon, super blackhead tri-stripe look really cool. I'm going back and forth, and I have a hypo super blackhead female that I'm going back and forth with. If I'll put the fire tri-stripe het hypo to her, because I know Corey Heft has blackhead. He has hypo blackhead het tri-stripes, and I think he has a blackhead double het hypo tri-stripe. So he's close on that one, but that one's got a lot of cool potential too. Because I think with the chaining that you already get from super blackhead, if you can keep a solid dorsal, that'll do the similar thing you were talking about, like the Gorilla GHI, because it has like that Lord of the Rings scribbly type on the sides anyway. It'll I just wonder if it does enough to be super transformative rather than just being like a clean super blackhead.
Right. I think there's 2 ways to do it. It's like to push down the like belly part that floats up, and so you get like a very white belly, and then like a tri-stripe, so it's more like a layer cake.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can like accentuate that and just sort of force the issue and make it the whole way down. I think you can do it either way.
Yeah,
And I think both are fun.
That's what's cool about it. There's a lot of different angles you can take with it and just manipulate the base gene itself.
Right. The time is now to buy your tri-stripes.
I've got hets for sale.
Hets for sale. What do you have for sale? We're
I
basically
only
just like riffing now, so you can
Yeah.
plug away.
I only have two. Like I said, I needed to minimize my fire on at least one side. So I have a fire het tri-stripe female. I got her as a het tri-stripe pos het hypo, and then I got her sister with her as well. So I have a normal that's double het hypo tri-stripe now, and then the fire approved not het hypo. So I have her, and she's probably 700 grams, and then I've got a black pastel het tri-stripe female who's probably 800 grams, 850 grams, and I'm only letting her go just because from Brandon I got a black pastel hypo het tri-stripe female, and I have cinnamon in another female too. From Will Moreau's, I got a orange dream, cinnamon, vanilla, pos het tri-stripe, but she's super obvious het tri-stripe. She's got like the bulbs going along the side of her. Yeah, so I need to minimize my black pastel and my fire. So do it on the female side.
See you later, Shane. Have fun at work.
See you, Shane.
Yeah, I have a bunch too, but like to me, it feels like the world is the oyster. Like you could almost do whatever at this point. It would be cool because we don't even know. We're just like information finding. So like,
Yeah.
go for it for sure. Let's keep going. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What I don't want to talk about, but I will. What do you think about now that it's been a couple months about the female fertility hypothetical issues of female visual tri-stripes?
I don't have enough of a sample size myself to know. I have one female tri-stripe, and she didn't go, so I'm 0 for 1 on visuals. I had talked to Brett Eby for a little bit, and he was kind of saying the same thing where he had kind of a little bit of a rocky season with them. I think this last season was his second one breeding visuals. He has a lot of hets. He said that his hets have been super reliable. He hasn't noticed anything about them. And he just had a small handful of visuals that he said that he was having, they just weren't building follicles, but they were good. I think they were like 2.5 years, 3 years old. So it could have just been that. And then I've heard both sides where somebody was like, "Oh, I've had no issues at all. My visual females reproduce like any other project that I have," and then you just hear like rumors of people saying that the females either take longer to grow, which I haven't experienced, or they skip years more often, or I've heard a bunch of stuff that doesn't really seem congruent. And with the sample size that we know people have, I wouldn't imagine that there's any claim to make until more people are actually working it.
Right. I mean, Colette did say she thought it was fine, right? But
didn't she say that she was producing more males?
Yeah, that's the part that like freaks me out the most. I'm like, really? So like, that sort of jives with just like what's on Morph Market right this second. But then like people get rid of their males first, and they'll keep back their females. So like,
especially in a project that's kind of still in its early.
Right, you would want to keep a normal tri-stripe female just because. But and maybe that's just like a bias in her collection or something. But I don't. That was like interesting to me. So maybe if everybody this year could like keep track of visuals, like if we have a 70-30 split or 80-20, it there might be a sex length component to it that we just weren't recognizing this whole time. Like it's still recessive, but maybe, you know, like that weird anery ball python that's in Europe, like the female has to be homozygous for the recessive, but the male, it acts like an incomplete dominant because he just needs one copy for it to be visual. I'm speculating wildly. Nobody Nobody take that as fact. They don't appear to be sex linked, but instead of being like there's a female viability problem, maybe there's like your females are more likely to be hets, not visuals, because they need to be homozygous somewhere else too, like if it's polygenic or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard too. Corey Heff was saying that he has hatched out normal Tristripes. One of them looked totally normal, and then a sibling look way better, like brighter, more contrast, almost looks like it would have pastel in it or something, and it's still just a normal Tristripe. And I was thinking too, it might have something to do with how Chris Towers, and I don't know much about like his line or what he's working with, but he had it where he was calling it electric. Could that be part of like the homozygous and how it's being passed down from the visuals, where if it's homozygous AB, it's a much brighter, cleaner Tristripe, or it's a darker, more rich mahogany colored Tristripe, depending on what it gets from the parents.
And you know how like it's been imported like 15 times, whatever, basically, and like visual Tristripes come out of the wild all the time. So it's possible like not only is it maybe polygenic, but it's also like multi-allelic. So like there are multiple alleles that make it. So like, and they're all on the same locus, so they all make a Tristripe looking animal, but there's different versions of it. You know, because it survives in the wild just fine. So like it had time to accumulate multiple mutations.
Right.
Main Squeeze Reptile says my male only produced 2 female hets between 2 pairings. Have you ever experienced like just female het disparities? Have you made hets from a Tristripe male?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I haven't had any clutches from Tristripes yet.
Okay. My male, he made 50-50 sex odd baby, so I think he might have just gotten hosed, to be honest. But I think the issue seems to be more on like when you breed het to het back again, people have like weird long odds hitting a visual, and people are like, why is it such a long odd? And then it seems harder to hit a female visual even more if it's especially het to het. But then that could just be like the odds, and people just aren't doing enough replications of a hard to hit pairing anyway.
Oh,
over 8 female hets. Damn, that sucks. Railway City says, I've had several visual hatchlings from several clutches from the same male, pairing that male to a non-het that is both males and females. So you made visuals pairing the male to non.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Yeah, Tristan was posting photos. I was telling you before we had started, he had a visual male to, I think, what was it, Tristan? Like an OD Inchi, and made Tristripes.
Did Tristan post this on Instagram? Like, can I show a picture to the audience yet?
We'll see.
Tristan, comment in the chat. So either she is a het, or it's more polygenic than we want it to be. Like PG, hypothetically.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it working similarly.
I mean, people have started saying the same thing about like Monsoon. I don't know if you've heard those whispers.
No.
Where like we see the het markers, but they're not producing visuals. And we're like, well, are these really het markers? But then we're like, we're pretty sure they are, but it's just not like coming out at the right rate. So it might need to be like more than just the visual markers. It might need to be like, it's basically like a double recessive project. Let's look at your Instagram, bud.
I just scrolled through it. I didn't see him on there. Tristan, I know you put him in the Discord. And
like
to
this
me, it
looks like a
visual. visual tri-stripe.
Is this the daddy? We're just having fun now.
Yeah. I got nowhere to be.
Yeah. Is this one of the babies? Yeah, this looks like a visual. So is this one of the ones where it was a... Oh, yeah, to a clown?
That's not one of the ones that came out of the non-het, but that is for sure visual.
This is a Tristripe 66 het clown male to a pastel blade clown female. Did I hit a visual Tristripe?
Oh. I believe, yes, you did.
All right. Yeah, it looks like it to me.
Where did that female come from?
I'll follow. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll keep
Is
it
there
moving.
something wacky going on, or you're an extremely lucky man?
Hey, the only question is, I don't know if you know anybody. Has anybody just bred tri-stripes to any animal that has excessive, I know this is a cypress, but like elongation? Not like necessarily connectivity, which is like a better sign, but like any amount of elongation and gotten visual tri-stripes?
No, I don't.
Some random guy in Canada with no tri-stripe stuff is Railway City Reptiles answer. And Cryptocoil's Python says, maybe it's like you said, because it can survive in the wild, there's a high incidence of a het in the general population.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And then Chris is like 3 unrelated females. It does seem crazy, but like I think I'm leaning towards a little bit of all columns, right? Column A, B, and C. Like the more we breed it, the more we'll see of it. And it's possible it's polygenic, and it's possible it's allelic with other stuff. And it's possible some genes show tri-stripe even when they're not homozygous. You know?
Yeah.
Like an epistatic relationship between the genes. And it'll be really fun and complicated. Because like the fact that we have 3 different versions of how leopard looks is wild to me right now.
Yeah. That's been confusing. All right. Well, we need a test. We need a shed test.
Yeah, I sent in a couple to RGI. Have you sent in some yet?
I have very few visuals, but they have the ones that I have, except for one.
He'll take the hets. He just needs 50 of something.
Okay.
Like hets and some homozygous ones.
Yeah, I'll send in the rest of what I got.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I want to find.
All right. Railway's posting more stuff. We're just having fun with Railway right now. See, like this to me, let's show it. It looks like a high expression het, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming, but he calls it an electric. It does look colorful. Is electric just? I don't know. It doesn't look like a het to me. I mean, it does look like a het, but electric looks like more than just the het effect of het tri-stripe.
I wonder if that's like the gene expression that Ken Masick has called his extremist.
Right, because extreme supposedly is a enhancing color thing.
Codon. Yeah.
Right.
Well, when I watched that video again, it sounded like he said that there's extreme, there's extremist that are not the same at all, and then there's tri-stripe. And he said they all 3 came in on that original tri-stripe female that he got.
Right. The problem is it was so when he showed the siblings, and he's like, this one is a GHI extremist and this one is its sibling, a tri-stripe that came out of the same clutch. Obviously those are 2 different things, but that could be like a gene, either extremist or extreme, het tri-stripe, creating that look.
Right.
Because an extreme gene does not look like an extremist at all, in my opinion. It's like a reducer with a little bit of like drips on the back. And sometimes they'll reverse stripe in lesser or butter. But most of the time, they're just like a reducer and maybe a little bit brighter. Like the Extreme Gene Clowns. Have you seen those?
I know I have, but I can't remember the last time I would have seen it.
Yeah, they just sort of look like blade clowns, like brighter, a little more intense, but like definitely reduced.
Yeah.
So would that make a reverse striped G-stripe looking thing? Let's look at the video. We won't watch it, but we'll look at the picture. So I sort of believe him that there are three things. I think what's at question is this dog Extreme Gene?
It's something.
Is Extremist, which is very cool, by the way. Like, so like a back stripe with drippy all the way down. Very fun. Is that a third gene or is it Extreme Gene het tristripe?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
I would lean, this is me not knowing anything, that it is a Extreme Gene het tristripe. And the het tristripe is what is making it way more wavy toward the bottom and have more of a tighter dorsal.
Is this one het tristripe? Yeah, it looks. So this looks extremist. Let me air quote this one. Right? But it's just a Mojave het tristripe. So
that one that I sent you that I have,
tri-stripe.
that is the Inchi Fire. What did you think was that? Do you think that's a extremist?
Hold on, let me take this away so I don't reveal somebody's secrets. I don't know what secrets. Let me go back in time. The one that's like reversed.
I'll send it to you again if it's easier.
Oh, this one. This one?
Yes. That's just Inchi Fire het tristripe.
Yeah, doesn't this look like an extreme mist to you? So if that's the case, extremist isn't a separate thing, but it must be Extreme Gene het tristripe because I have Extreme Genes and I have het tristripes and they don't fucking look like this. It has to be like the double together.
Right.
Makes the look. Speculating wildly here.
Yeah.
Don't listen to either of us. We're stupid. But I've bred enough of my male around. He's like black pastel, fire, banana, whatever, just stuff. They don't look anything like this when they're just het tristripe. So they need the secret sauce of something else to look like that, even with fire. In my opinion, don't sue me, please. But I like both of these things a lot, so I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in. Sign me up.
I love the sides cool? On that, the super extreme or super extremist GHI. I love the bottom sides, those little like fingers that are coming up. That looks so cool.
Yeah, it's fucking
like
nuts.
A lava lamp.
Like, this can be its own recessive now or whatever, like its own like pattern platform to fuck around with. Like, you remember State 48's Hidden Geoma puzzle?
Yeah.
Where all the pattern was on the side. Like, I was like, that's not much of a puzzle, but it's cool. But it's like, cool. This is it. Like, this is that too, where you've like changed the like, you know, the platform to like another part of the snake.
Right.
What's up, Melinda? To my knowledge, Extreme Gene and Electric are the same. I think I agree.
Yeah.
But Blackheart posted a super extreme het tristripe that doesn't look like an extremist. So this would make our theory not work. Because it looks like reduced instead of reverse striped. I don't know. Have we beat the horse to death?
I mean, I think we have the same answer as when we first asked them.
Yeah, it's like we don't know.
We got to breed more.
Yeah, but to me, like, this is like exciting, right? Everybody fucking knows what a clown looks like. They're cool. I still love them, but like, we got so much shit to do over here.
Yeah.
And they're all
The
cool. Even if you're like a noob, you can noob your way into a brand new combo. You want to
Yeah.
go get a sapphire female for $800, breed a tri-stripe to her, and like start the sapphire tri-stripe project? Good job. You're cutting edge right now.
sapphire is sick.
Yeah. Nobody take that idea. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I might go grab one.
Right. No, I don't know what I'm doing. I just like want to combo whatever. But I do want to try the cryptic because I just want to see what'll happen. I just want to know if it'll just like ruin it or make it like a confusion thing where it'll be like this way. It'll almost be like the Kiki version for Tristripe
Yeah.
because they'll be fighting opposite ways.
Yeah, the dorsal won't be fighting as much.
Mm-hmm. That's my thought on it right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have my male's ready to go. I'm not going to be. I've put him in with one. So the female hypo black pastel het tri-stripe that I got from Brandon, she went all food for a little while, and so I put male in her just to see what they would do, and they were all over each other, but I didn't see anything yet. So he's 900 grams and ready to go this season, but I really need to get him into. So he's had hypo. So I've got a couple hypo combo females that I need to get him into just to get some more genes into it. Just because I'm so.
What were her codoms or his codoms?
He's just a fire tri-stripe.
Okay.
Yeah, het hypo. So I'll probably put him to the super black het hypo. Might put him to a pastel cypress hypo. And then to the female I got from Brandon, hopefully hit some hypo tri-stripes because I need females to grow up for sure.
All right, I have a new dumb question that's maybe beating the horse to death again.
Cool.
Do you think the ones that reverse from back and forth are all just tri-stripes or other things? Where they'll be like reverse striped, then they'll go to a tri-stripe form, and then they'll go back again? Or do you think those are like high expression hats?
Are you talking about like the fire example that had the reverse stripe down the back?
Yeah. Sometimes I think that's fire's fault, but sometimes I'm worried there's another gene doing that.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's a het. I still think it's a visual. Maybe that could be where it's like the extreme gene. Maybe it's like a het extreme
like that.
gene
What
visual
the fuck is that?
tri-stripe.
What the fuck is that? It's a fire tri-stripe, but it's perfectly reverse striped.
Yeah.
Sterling, what did you do? Like, is this?
Or could that be like a single gene extreme or extremist or either one that's tied onto the tri-stripe and is making it have?
Yeah, it could be
part of reverse stripe.
I guess my question is like, this.
Tristan said he thinks that's extreme. Tristan knows more about tri-stripe than I do. I take that word.
So when I was IDing, I have like a male clown who's like pos extreme. And I was always IDing like the goofiest, like barely expression, like in combos as just having like excessive neck striping. So every time I see excessive neck striping in any tri-stripe, I'm like, ew, it could be extreme. Like I'm scared because like if this isn't an extremist, if extreme het tri-stripe isn't an extremist, then a super extreme tri-stripe is going to be like back and forth hypothetically, where it's like those things that you're like, is this a het or a visual?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that's the case.
Or if it's in its super form, can it hide better in a visual tri-stripe?
Right.
And maybe only bring in a reverse stripe and not really mess with the rest of the dorsal or the side pattern as much. That's
why I'm like super excited about the neck connecting, because then I'm like, sure, there's no extreme gene in it. Like I'm like, thank God. I know it's not there.
Yeah.
Extremes are all that golden color.
What do you do when you're bright?
Go ahead, sorry.
I just said the ones that I've seen have all been bright.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that in the visual tri-stripes too. Corey Hefty said sent me a photo earlier today of 2 Tristripes. This is different from the one that looked like it was pastel. It was like 2 Tristripes, and one of them was super bright down the back.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be exciting. I think we did it though, Matt. Any other thoughts about Tristripe? What snakes are you looking to produce this year? Like, in case people want to get excited about your projects, follow you along on Instagram.
This
That
year
you're not going to keep.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm still hatching out stuff now. I just hatched out my 3rd clutch of 11. I've got some DG stuff. I'll have DG Het Clown stuff. I have some hypo Het puzzle stuff. I actually just sent the test in because my pairing is a pastel puzzle Het hypo to a fire hypo. And she had always had like this little ringer on her, and I never really put anything to it. And then I hatched out these hypo Het puzzles, and I've got a ton of track marking down them. And so then I contacted the guy, the producer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I have a bunch of those in my collection." He's like, "I've never really put pied into it, but I'm confident that there's pied in my hypo stuff." So I sent the shed to Charlie. I'm just waiting on that. So I likely have some hypo Het puzzle Het pieds that I'll probably let go. I don't really plan on working puzzle pied, but
has somebody hit that puzzle pied?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like anything?
Yeah, Barry Swope hit it. I think he's got 2 or 3 now. I think somebody else has it as well. Have you seen the cryptic pieds?
Yeah.
You know how it kind of gets rid of like pieds normally have like the head, and then it's got the connector that starts down onto the pattern on the body.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gets rid of that, where it accentuates the eye stripes like on a puzzle.
I see it. I think
that is a lower expression than what I have seen from Barry's stuff.
Okay, Barry.
I know he was posted his on Facebook, but it's another one of those things where it's kind of pied is just kind of limiting it. I think if you get into like the Inchis and hurricanes and all that additive into it, it might unlock a little bit more of it, but I don't think it's a direction that I'll go. So I'll probably keep on to the females because I could use some hypo Het puzzle females.
Corey's here. Hi.
Corey Heft, you missed the Tristripe conversation. We're off of it now.
I know. All right, last question. Between cryptic pied, puzzle pied, and Tristripe pied, which one is the coolest? I know they're all like mid, but like which one is the coolest?
Of the very limited examples that we've seen so far, I'm probably partial to the puzzle pied. But the ones that I've seen have mostly been higher white. So I don't know project-wise. I think that just making a pretty pied in the base gene, I think the Tristripe pied is pretty.
Right, it seems to have more pattern than the other ones so far.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All right, good answer. Yeah, I think when you're on like the cutting edge, you're gonna make some to make an omelet, crack some eggs, and you just figure it out. But I think
plenty of little sleepers along the way before you make one that you really like.
Yeah, maybe Corey, you can come on round 2 for Tristripe Begetting. Who thought we could talk about Tristripes for 2 hours? I guess.
I talked to Corey for just a little bit today and learned a lot about Tristripe that I didn't know. He's a wealth of knowledge on it. He's got nice stuff. He just hatched out some more visual hypo Tristripes too.
Yeah, that's what I want this year is like a visual hypo male, because I like hypo almost everywhere I put it, so I might as well put it in Tristripe. All right, everybody, thank you for coming. We had hopefully at least you got like ideas for projects. Maybe like that was the point of like making the little tier list. And someone should work on Monarch Tristripe this year, hopefully, if it isn't already happening.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. All right, let's say goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.